Okay, so this is a short tutorial on how to set up Compressor server. First thing you need to do is to remember some stuff. When you open it, go to Preferences and especially remember your additional instances. And when you set up workflows, remember your computer groups. So that's the two things you need to remember. So open Compressor server. And it will start by going to the GitLab wiki pages for this project. Here you can find the server settings, the workflow settings, share settings, and the health monitor. So let's start with the server settings. What I'm going to do is I have here a USB stick that I'll pretend is fast storage, and I'm going to set up my folder structure over here. And the best and easiest way to do that is by clicking the default setup button. That will actually fill all these directories in. And so when you click on it, you need to choose a volume. Should be a fast volume, but it will allow you to choose any volume you'd like. So I'll choose that one, and you need to set up ownership. That's important because when you have multiple compressor servers running, they all need to be able to write in those directories and read from it, of course. But so choose your user and groups carefully. In this case, for this demo, I'll just leave it like my normal, like this. This is my normal ID and my normal group, and it will ask for my administrator password in a moment. This is done because often you're not allowed to write here. So on a SAN at least. So it will do that with admin administrator privileges. So when I click setup, I'm gonna fill in my password. And there you go. So here you can see my folder structure, but you can see here that you've got these directories. The fast input directory, it's actually a hidden directory, as well as the output directory. That's because you don't want your end users to fiddle around in those directories, especially in the registry directory. If you need to remember what directory what is, just click on a help button and it will tell you all about it, what you need to know. The website directory is placed in your own user home folder, but that's just a default setup. You can pick anything you like. So back on the SAN, so these directories are here. You can't see them because they're hidden. This is typically a good place for your compressor settings, especially on shared storage and especially when you have multiple compressor servers. So they all use the same compressor settings file, so you only have one place to change it if you need to. So now we've got this all set up. Let me tell you a little bit about this. These are the extensions to pick up in the output directory. Basically means just fill in the extension in here that you'll be using. You need to supply the extensions to pick up because there are also a lot of segment files going in there, and you don't want to pick those files up, but only the final file. So also because most SANs, or at least XSAN, are still case sensitive, it's good practice to put a lowercase and uppercase version of your extension. So here you can determine if you use multiple compressor servers and how many. And here are the queues. This is important because most of the compressor versions I know will do 2 jobs at the same time. If you have a awesome Mac that does that'll allow you to do more jobs at the same time, you can fill it up here, and we'll create output queues for every job that's busy. So basically you're saying here for how many jobs can I handle at the same time. If you got more, this is a simple calculation, of course. So it's important that you set up this number, the same number as how many jobs compressor can handle at the same time. Then you're good to go. Okay, so let's think of workflows now. Before we do it, let's create a folder structure already. So let me say I want a folder that will create a progress 42 file, and in and out. So I'll place the file in here. It should be coming out there, but then it's progress. So I need a compressor setting file as well. So let's open the current tab, and as you can see here on my here's some progress. Just drag and drop. Of course, you can modify those or put your own settings. Okay, so add the plus sign. We'll name it. Choose the watch folder. Now, again, you need to say which extensions you should be picking up. So we've got a move off here. Here you have the option to only pick up files that match these extensions, and all the other files that are ignored. Or you can say, no, I want every file that's been dropped in the inbox or in the watch folder. All those files should be going to the destination, but only transcode files that match the extension. If this watch folder is on slow storage, and this is, then just copy the files to a fast input directory, and from there it will start the transcode. So we need to browse for the settings file, which is over here. We need to supply a new extension, and here you can say if you want to have the file renamed so you can see that what's compressor setting that was used. Now this is pretty awesome feature as well. You can, for each workflow, you can determine what computer group compressor should be using and what the priority is. So you can have workflows that are really important, that should have all the CPUs you can get, or some lesser important, so you can play with it and be very flexible in that way. Okay, choose your destination. Again, some options to delete the original file or also move the original file. Here you can say again how many servers are sharing this workflow. You don't need to on every compressor server have exactly the same workflows, so you're flexible. But if multiple servers are watching this particular inbox watch folder, it's you need to say how many servers. It will basically determine the interval that is been used and how often it should check the directory. Okay, just click save. Okay, let's continue before we switch it on. The shares, I'm not gonna demo it here, but simply add a plus sign and fill everything out. There's a nice help thingy to get you started, and click on and it will mount your share. Let's go to health monitor first, because that's a pretty important one, because we want to have compressor stable, and what it will do, it will check compressor and check for suspicious behavior, and it will give votes to that. And here you can say, okay, if the amount of votes is 4 or 5 or whatever number, then it should reset or repair. So this is good. Check every 15 minutes. Now this option is only needed when this server is a compressor server as well. It will basically mean when this server is adding jobs to compressor, it's not very smart to repair or reset compressor. So when it's not a compressor server, just turn it off, and it will it will basically be a cluster Mac, and it will keep that healthy. But this is a compressor server, so keep it on. And here's the number that you had to remember. The extra instance on my laptop is 1. Supply password and choose all interfaces for now. As you notice that these numbers change by the number that you set up here. These are just some default settings that work in my environment, but perhaps not yours, so feel free to modify as long as the reset isn't higher than the repair, then you're okay. So 3 and 5. Okay, so let's start up here. So everything is fine. With everything in Compressor Server, you need to switch it off before you can edit. That's just the way it's built, because it's using launchd, and it's launchd has something loaded, and you can only edit it when you unload it. So here in the log files, you can see that compressor already was reset because it checks the CPU, which was none, and so it gave 4 votes and it was reset. Oh, so when you look at compressor now, you'll see that this is on, password is on, and the instances are all nice. So that's good. Let's switch on the server. All green lights, sweet. Now, when you click on this one, you see the website or the web page, and that one is built in the setting that you choose here. So now we're good to go actually to put some files in. But before we do that, I want to point out again the log files. You see here it has created a lot of log files now for every workflow, for every output directory, and so you'll get a lot of logs. They're all also here available in your own library logs compressor server directory. And here you can see exactly what is going on. So let's place a file in it. Keep this one on the website, this one on the log. There you go. And now we just have to wait before it's getting picked up. It's by default, it's just going every minute now. Also, what you will see is when it's getting picked up, it will create an in progress clip. And that's just a simple way to let the other servers know that other compressor servers know that this server is being picked up. Here you can see it. So it's registered, will be placed in Q1. I did my best to do some good logging. It's checked if the file is still growing. You see the website's the status is now on incoming. It sees the destination. Let's open compressor, because here you'll see the job coming in. So let's copy it. The job is coming in. You can see still, oh, this is always getting pretty fast. It was given to compressor. The output queue is 1, so here the file will be created, and here you can see it. So now here you can see it's processing. This progress bar isn't as accurate as this one, of course, because we pull every 30 seconds or so. And that pulling is done over here. But I think this one is getting too fast now. At least your users know now that everything, here's the pulling, is now at 47%, I think. No. The website script just simply needs to be run again, and then yeah, there it is. So the output directory here sees now the real file coming in. Check if it's growing. It is. Yeah, this one already found that it's at 100%. Oh. At default, we'll check 4 times. I found that it's much more stable, especially on Xsense or StoreNext. And often when you see it going at 100%, it just means that it's all joining the segments into one file. And one more check, and here you've got it. Your file is complete. And of course it's nice Apple ProRes. So there you have it. That's just a basic simple workflow in Compressor Server. And this one is now set on done and start stop time. So I hope you'll enjoy it, Compressor Server, and I hope you'll want to contribute to it and have fun with it. Cheers.